Hello, I'm Dr. Chad Hawk with Dr. Steve Hoffman for this week's Mastery Moments. I want to share an email that I received today from a chiropractor. I'm not going to disclose any names, but
Okay.
I really believe, and I do not mean this in any disparaging way at all, but this shows, I think, an epidemic problem in our profession today. And I
Okay.
won't read all of it, but most of it. After retrospection, I really don't have the energy after struggling for 20 years to redo my practice. I struggle with the concept slash validation of subluxation. Subluxation is in quotes. It's very elusive, very alternative, very philosophical, and I'm tired of defending something that's so controversial. If I struggle with how to impart that quote unquote belief system into patients, I think it may be time to start with an exit strategy and look at another career for the next 15 to 20 years. The chiropractic landscape is collapsing all around us. It is evident everywhere, with the number of new chiros closing within 10 years of graduation. That's one measure. I'm afraid Big Pharma may be too powerful.
Yikes.
So, every week for
Oh,
the last month, I've made comments that I get emails, and I've had conversations with chiropractors who are well into practice and they're struggling. This is one of those chiropractors that
yeah.
I've referenced on past calls. He was moving along, having the best week he had ever had, and now he's pulling the carpet out from underneath himself.
Yep.
And if it isn't glaringly obvious to you, where is his problem?
Right between his ears.
Yeah,
You know, he thinks it's about what he does and what everyone else is doing, instead of about who he is being. And who he is being has nothing to do with what anyone else is being or who anyone else is being. So, there were two indicator words in like the first paragraph that I thought were appropriate. He's been banging his head against the wall for 20 years trying to produce change. Well, one of those two statements isn't true.
right.
Okay? Because if he's focused on change and growth, then he would be producing change and growth. If he's focused on banging his head against the wall, then that's what he's going to wind up doing. And they aren't compatible with one another.
Exactly.
They're just not. And so in a situation like this, I would say he probably has 1 year of experience 20 times instead of 20 years of experience. And he's trying to figure out, and I haven't spoken to him, but it sounds like he's trying to figure out how he cannot change and grow at the same time. And that's why I said yikes, because you can't not change and grow at the same time.
Exactly. And so many of his the recordings in his head, the belief systems that he's established
Sure.
are completely false. They have no validity. Now, in his head, he may have justifications for them, but just because you justify something does not mean it's true.
Right.
Now, interestingly enough, today I sent out my weekly email, and one of my points I made was, look, if you can't get on board, maybe it's better you just leave the profession. Because the reality is, he really doesn't want to change, does he? He doesn't want to change. That's what you were saying. And if you don't want to change, you're just bringing us down
All
as
of
a
them.
profession.
That's right.
And that is not a harsh statement to him. It's just the truth. It's better to be a greeter at Walmart and say, hello, glad you're here today, and mean it, than try and adjust somebody, even if you think your technical skills may be fine. And he believes his technical skills are fine. But if you can't communicate that with people, you're just dragging us down.
Well,
You're part of the problem, not part of the solution.
and that's the bottom line. But it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
Okay? And it's a choice. Unfortunately, it sounds like he's been making a lot of unconscious choices throughout his career rather than making conscious choices. And at this point in his career, he's making a conscious choice, potentially, to just stop. All right? But I think this all goes back to ladder coaching, if you will, from Total Solution, that he has beliefs that he accepts as true that aren't true. And when your emotional state is based on beliefs that aren't true, it almost always produces a less than resourceful emotional state, typically fear of something. And fear stops us from taking appropriate action rather than spurs us to take appropriate action. So when we don't take action or we take inappropriate action, we typically get a negative result, which goes back and reinforces the emotional state of fear or worry or anxiety or self-sabotage, shame, a deep-seated belief that we're damaged in some way, which is antithetical to the chiropractic principles, the major premise it's antithetical to. And so when you have a situation like this individual can indeed be better off in another profession. However, it's unlikely that they're going to be better off doing anything other than what they're doing, because it's their belief system of who they be rather than the doingness of whatever job that they're in. It's a victim mentality, Chad.
Exactly.
And with the victim mentality, it either has to be broken or they're going to wind up going ahead and victimizing other people.
Yeah. Jumping ship, leaving the profession is not going to solve the issue. There's something much different.
It might be helpful for the profession, but it won't be helpful for him.
Exactly. We are out of time. Thank you so much, everybody. Please register for Simplicity. If you're on the fence and having these issues, we address this very thing at Simplicity.
Nice. Before you go.
Yes.
Whether you saw yourself in this conversation in one way, shape, or form or not, this is happening every single day inside the profession, and it needs to be addressed, and no one's addressing it except us.
That's right.
Thank you.
So, Steve, contact him at Steve at Dr. Steve at drstevehoffman.com or Chad at drchadhawk.com. Thank you so much, everybody, and you have a great day. We really appreciate you watching these.
Take good care.
Bye-bye.